From emotional rides that left even the toughest cowboys wiping their eyes, to championship wrecks that rattled entire arenas, these are the 10 most unforgettable moments in bull riding history. At number 10, Roscoe Jarboe stepped into the Uvalde Arena in 2015, convinced he could conquer Jim Dandy during the Blue Death Velocity Showdown.
I think this is the guy on this bull that wins this round right here. I
You
like
think
this
so?
matchup.
It wasn't the brightest spotlight or the grandest stage, but rodeo history has a way of writing its most unforgettable chapters in the unlikeliest places. Jim Dandy stormed out of the chute with raw fury, cutting Jarboe's night short in brutal fashion.
I mean, that's kind of a bad question to ask, guys. You got a 2,000-pound animal that wants to see me dead, and I jump over the fence and y'all go, "What are you doing?"
The scoreboard told a brutal truth: 0 for the cowboy, 42.5 for the bull. In plain terms, absolute domination, but numbers only scratched the surface. What burned into memory wasn't just the defeat, it was the raw, unfiltered violence of the crash. The kind of wreck that doesn't just bruise a body, but defines a career and crushes a dream in less than 8 seconds. And often, it's not the biggest arenas where history is made, it's the smaller stages, where the spotlight sears brightest on one rider's downfall. And that brings us to another moment etched into rodeo legend. At number 9, Jorge Valdivieso's clash with Lieutenant Dan at the 2016 Sioux Falls event turned into the kind of nightmare that riders never forget and fans never stop talking about.
Lieutenant Dan, he's in trouble! Gonna pay the price too! Ooh!
The round 1 draw matched Jorge Valdivieso against Lieutenant Dan. On paper, it looked like a ride within reach. But when the gate cracked, reality hit harder than anyone expected. Lieutenant Dan exploded from the chute like a heat-seeking missile, zeroed in on destruction. Within seconds, Valdivieso was torn down with ruthless precision, his night ending not in points, but in a trip to the hospital.
I just want to say this. After all of that, he's still got great hair.
The collision was brutal, every sound echoing through the arena like a warning shot. Valdivieso was flattened under Lieutenant Dan, treated like nothing more than a bump in the dirt. It was a harsh reminder that no matter how experienced, every cowboy is one wrong move away from disaster. When a bull chooses to make an example of you, there's no escape, one fan remarked. That night, Lieutenant Dan delivered that lesson with unforgiving clarity. At number 8, Nathan Shaper showed the world that even a high score can't shield a rider from devastation.
Guys want to give him a standing up there, and he's squatting down the front end. Now, some guys will take him like this.
At the 2014 Allentown Showdown, Shaper climbed aboard Gatling Gun. From the first jump, it looked textbook, steady, sharp, everything a cowboy dreams of in a full 8-second ride. He hit the buzzer, locked in an 82.75, and by all accounts should have been tipping his hat to the crowd in triumph.
Yep. Oh, what a get off. Look out, boy. He's going to get run over.
But Gatling Gun wasn't finished. The bull came back with a crushing shot that rattled the arena, its sound rolling like thunder across the dirt. What made it unforgettable wasn't just the violence, it was the timing. One heartbeat, you're cashing in on a winning ride. The next, you're fighting just to stand. That's bull riding, Shaper admitted afterward. The peaks and the crashes all live inside the same 8 seconds. His wreck became a brutal reminder of how this sport turns triumph into disaster in the blink of an eye. At number 7, J.W. Harris showed the world that even icons of the sport can be brought crashing down. Legends may rise above most battles, but in bull riding, no one is untouchable.
Scored 83 points aboard. Imagine that in round number 1.
In 2014, Harris, a PRCA legend, stepped into the PBR arena at Laughlin, riding high on experience and expectation. He drew no regrets, and for a moment, it seemed like the perfect stage for a veteran's comeback. But no regrets lived up to every bit of its name. The bull exploded with ruthless power, hurling Harris through the air as if gravity had abandoned him entirely.
Quickly goes horribly wrong.
When a legend is thrown like that, it's a stark reminder. Bulls don't bow to reputations. Harris absorbed the hit like the seasoned cowboy he was. No complaints, no excuses. He tipped his hat, walked away, and carried the same dignity that earned him his legacy. As one commentator put it, bulls don't care about your accolades. They only respect the grit in the arena. At number 6, Casey Hayes discovered just how quickly a championship round can spiral from triumph into chaos. In bull riding, glory is never guaranteed, and the line between victory and disaster can vanish in an instant. The 2014 Billings Championship round was meant to be Hayes' defining moment. Everything aligned for a triumphant finish. Then Chocolate Thunder entered the arena. Hayes mounted with confidence, believing he could master the bull's power. Instead, he was met with a late break slam so vicious it left the crowd gasping, a moment etched in memory for its sheer brutality.
Bull that unfortunately knocked out Tanner Byrne last weekend in the 15-15 bucking battle.
The scorecard recorded 6.95 seconds for Hayes that weekend, just shy of the full 8, yet a world away from safety. That ride became a stark lesson. In bull riding, nothing counts until your boots touch the dirt and you walk away unscathed. If you don't make 8, none of it matters, Hayes admitted later. This ride, like so many, reminded fans of just how relentless and unforgiving this sport can be. At number 5, Eduardo Aparecido's face-off with Butcher's Nightmare unfolded like a masterclass in destruction. Every second on that bull screamed chaos, leaving no doubt why this matchup became instant legend.
I think he's a guy that needs to be in the conversation for a world championship. This is where he's got to start making that happen.
Round 3, St. Louis 2016. Aparecido faced one of the rankest bulls in the pen, Butcher's Nightmare. This wasn't just a tough bull, he was pure malice in motion. The moment the gate opened, he spun violently, connecting with Aparecido in a flawless, brutal slam. Clean, savage, and impossible to forget.
Look how it snaps him back up when he moved forward.
What cemented this ride in memory was the flawless execution of raw power. Butcher's Nightmare struck with deliberate intent, every move precise and unrelenting. This showdown became essential viewing for anyone seeking to grasp the stark difference between championship-level danger and standard competition. Some bulls are born predators, and every veteran in the arena agreed Butcher's Nightmare was one of the fiercest. Landing at number 4, Austin Meyer quickly learned that the grandest arenas carry the harshest consequences. Trainwreck made sure he felt that lesson in full force at AT&T Stadium, turning a moment of anticipation into a collision with cold, unrelenting reality.
Good, he's standing good in that way. When that gate opens, he'll leave there cleanly.
Iron Cowboy 3 2012, Round 2. The arena lights blazed like a spotlight on destiny. The stage was colossal, every detail screaming high-stakes bull riding. Fans anticipated a showdown between two seasoned warriors, a clash destined for the highlight reels, but nothing could prepare them for the raw destruction about to erupt. Trainwreck unloaded a savage throw that sent shockwaves through the crowd, leaving the arena in stunned silence.
Has an answer for all of it. Till you see right there towards the end, drops him down into that well.
Meyer slammed into the dirt with brutal force, every bone and muscle feeling the punishment. You could see the sting of the impact and appreciate why modern sports medicine exists. What made this moment unforgettable wasn't just the pain, it was the contrast. The glimmering lights and roaring crowd of a major event reduced to one cowboy sprawled motionless on the arena floor. That's the harsh reality that sets bull riding apart from every other sport. As one fan put it, no matter how grand the stage, bulls don't care about the spectacle. Meyer's crash was a stark reminder. In this sport, glory and disaster are separated by mere seconds. Frank Newsom's showdown with Rusty Rooster at number 3 etched itself into memory, but not for the reasons anyone expected. This wasn't just another ride, it was a collision that would leave an unforgettable mark on everyone who witnessed it.
Rusty Rooster looked just that.
At the Duth Invitational in Georgia, the draw paired Newsom with Rusty Rooster. On paper, it seemed like a fair fight, but the bull had a far more ruthless agenda. With the force of a cannon blast, Rusty Rooster launched Newsom skyward, leaving him completely airborne and utterly at the mercy of gravity.
Watch Frank. Frank gets right in the middle, right where he's supposed to be.
What made this moment unforgettable wasn't just the wreck, it was the bullfighters stealing the spotlight. As Newsom flew through the air and slammed into the dirt, the protective crew sprang into overdrive, risking everything to keep him from worse injury. Cowboys still point to this ride when they want to show what true danger looks like, not just the raw violence, but the life-saving heroics that unfolded immediately after. Sometimes the real stars of the arena aren't the riders at all. One fan perfectly summed it up. This was one of those times. Claiming the number 2 spot, Dakota Batar's showdown with Concealed Carry turned into a finals disaster that left an indelible mark on everyone who witnessed it. The collision wasn't just a ride gone wrong, it was a moment that seared itself into memory, a brutal reminder of just how unforgiving championship bull riding can be.
I don't know that one's going to stand much better
I was
than
just
that.
going to say, Concealed Carry seems to be pretty chill.
Las Vegas, 2019 World Finals, Round 1, the pinnacle of bull riding. Barr was riding high on the momentum of an impressive season, ready to prove himself on the sport's grandest stage. But Concealed Carry had a message of his own. The bull exploded out of the gate, spinning with brutal intent, and slammed Barr into the steel confines of the chute. The impact was bone-jarring, a clash of raw metal and flesh that left the crowd in stunned silence.
You know, he's going backwards when he should be going forward, and that's what happens.
This wasn't just a ride gone wrong, it was a finals catastrophe unfolding in real time, a moment capable of shaping careers and haunting dreams. You can train for years, Dakota admitted later, but nothing can prepare you for that kind of hit. His parents watched from the stands, powerless, hearts in their throats. They'd seen Concealed Carry before, but never delivered devastation on such a massive stage. Dakota's always been tough, his father said, but seeing him slammed like that at the finals, that's something you never forget. Medical personnel charged in immediately. The crowd fell utterly silent, fully aware they had witnessed a moment destined to echo through the sport for years. Claiming the top spot, Tough Hedeman created a moment that would etch itself into bull riding history. Not through destruction, but through sheer grit and unrelenting heart. This wasn't about a wreck or a knockout. It was a display of courage and determination that defined an entire sport.
He's the man now that has had, well, a little ray of sunlight has come into his life in the race for the world title.
1989, Tough Hedeman posted one of the most dramatic 10th round rides in NFR history when he rode his last draw past the whistle and then fanned the animal with his hat in memory of his friend and world champion Lane Frost, who was killed in a bull riding mishap earlier that year in Cheyenne.
1989 National Finals Rodeo Las Vegas. Earlier that year, Hedeman had lost his closest friend, Lane Frost, and the bull riding world was still reeling from the tragedy. Grief hung heavy over the arena, yet Hedeman had a mission, a world championship to claim, a promise to honor. With that burden pressing down on him, he swung himself onto the bull, every motion charged with determination. The audience felt the weight of the moment, every eye in the crowd understood the stakes, and every heartbeat matched the tension in the arena.
Tough Hedeman. Here's the man of the hour.
Hedeman hit the whistle, but he didn't pull free. He kept driving, each spur, each motion, a tribute. For Lane, for the championship, for every cowboy who understood what bull riding truly demands. The crowd exploded, tears ran down the faces of grown men. History unfolded in real time. I wasn't riding for myself, Hedeman said later. I was riding for Lane, for everyone who believed in us. That extra beat became more than just a ride. It became the heartbeat of an entire generation. It wasn't the bull that defined the moment. It was the courage, the loyalty, the unshakable spirit of a man refusing to quit even when grief and pressure weighed him down. Fans still shiver watching that run because it distilled everything that makes bull riding sacred: brotherhood, sacrifice, and a relentless drive that surpasses pain. They don't just ride bulls, one fan commented. They ride for something far bigger than themselves. Hedeman went on to claim the world title that year, but the true victory wasn't in the trophy. It was in the example he set, showing the world how to honor a fallen friend with unwavering authenticity. In a sport measured in 8-second bursts, Hedeman's extra moment for Lane Frost proved that sometimes the most unforgettable triumphs occur after the whistle, when the heart eclipses technique and pure love carries you through the impossible.